As everybody usually is aware, the utility docket has been posted online on the Commission's website prior to this open meeting. Additionally, hard copies of the utility docket are available at this open meeting. Unless the relevant parties have any specific objections or issues related to the matters presented on the utility docket, I move that we adopt the utility docket as presented and attached to the minutes.
Second.
Okay. If you're a non-intervener but would like to make some public comments, we will give you the opportunity. I believe Ms. Collier's probably going to wave her hand. If you would, please sign up to speak so we can have a list, and she'll provide us with that list. But I can't see her, I'm sure. Okay, she waved her hand. So if you need to speak, she'll be glad to have you signed up. Thank you. I'm going to read through the list real quick. And if you plan on making a public comment, say yes. If you don't, say no. If I don't hear you, that means a no. Ag Energy Resources. Alternate Energy Solutions. Atmos Energy. Centerpoint Energy. Clear Result. Cornerstone Home Lending. EPAs of Mississippi. Internoc Inc., Tegler Power, Entergy Mississippi.
Yes, Commissioner, we would like to make comment.
Ergon Inc., Greater Mississippi Solar Alliance, Mississippi Development Authority,
Yes.
Mississippi Farm Bureau, Mississippi Manufacturers Association, Mississippi Power Company.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
25 by 25.
Yes, sir.
Caleb Dana,
Yes, sir.
Chad Wheely, Hayes Dent, Michael Fern, Wes Miller, Will Higman, Mississippi Chapter of the Sierra Club,
Yes, sir.
Natalie Mims, Office of the Attorney General,
Yes.
Sanford Associates,
Yes.
Southeast Energy Efficiency Alliance, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, Strategic Biomass Solutions, Tegler of Jackson, Mississippi,
Yes, sir.
the Energy Group, Wilbert Gas and Oil. All right. Looks like the first, clear result. They didn't want to speak, did they? I wanted to make sure I had that written. And Cornerstone Home Lending.
Right here.
Oh, y'all do want to speak?
Yes.
Okay. You got it. Well, Ashley, you're first up. Cornerstone Home Lending.
Oh.
This case is 2010 AD2, the order establishing docket to investigate the development and implementation of energy efficiency programs and standards. We're going to give the public comment period at this point in time. And if you would, when you approach, if you would for the record, state your name, who you represent, and an address. Would that be sufficient? Yeah? All right. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bo Smith with Cornerstone Home Lending here in Jackson, Mississippi. I am an energy efficient mortgage lender for residential homes. I'm an Energy Star preferred lender. The reason why I'm here today to speak a little bit about what we do. We actually lend money to retrofit homes to be more energy efficient by utilizing energy testing with a HERS rater. Unfortunately, in the state of Mississippi, you're looking at the Lone Ranger right here that's promoting this particular product. We've got test case after test case and millions of dollars of retrofit programs that we've enabled Mississippians to buy homes and refinance their homes with these energy retrofits that they need, because unfortunately they cannot afford these. utilizing programs that are sponsored by the Department of Energy, Federal House Administration, HUD, and Energy Star. They talk about these particular programs. But my issue is the fact that we don't have our own entities, particularly our utility companies that are promoting products such as this to make available to the public that financing does exist to afford energy efficient upgrades. By encouraging utility companies to come to the table to let their ratepayers know that energy efficient mortgages that are passed by our federal government to exist to help finance these particular energy upgrades will enable the private sector to get involved and provide a little bit more conduit ways of financing that doesn't involve the appraisal issues that we have, so we can go above and beyond the lending capabilities of energy efficiency and make this more accessible to Mississippians. Our friends next door in Louisiana, particularly New Orleans, are already utilizing these kind of particular programs and promote them through nonprofits. It would be kind of nice to see utility companies take it on. It's already an addressed program. It's been around for quite some time. It's just a matter of adopting what the federal government's already put in place along with the Department of Energy sponsorship. That's all I have to say.
Well, we appreciate it. Keep your last name, Ruby?
Smith.
Smith. That's pretty easy. All right, Mr. Smith, we appreciate you. Next up is Entergy Mississippi. Two minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Shelley Bass, and I represent Entergy Mississippi. We adopt our file comments in this docket, and we just want to let you know that we do promote we do support the Commission's effort to promote energy efficiency. As we said in our comments, our only suggestions are some changes to the timing laid out in the rules that the staff and Commission have proposed here. We would like to add a couple of months to some of the deadlines in the rules so that we can maximize benefits to customers in developing these programs. We can conduct RFPs and formal bidding processes, and we can importantly maximize our ability to use Mississippi contractors and vendors. As it says in the rules, some of these programs require significant training and certification, and by adopting this policy and sending a signal to contractors, they will now have an incentive to undergo this training, but that does take some time. So instead of bringing in out-of-state contractors and vendors, we would like for the Commission to consider expanding the time periods somewhat for a couple of months so that we can make sure that that happens.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next up, the Mississippi Development Authority.
Karen Bishop. I'm the Director of the Energy and Natural Resources Division of the Mississippi Development Authority. Good morning. Our division works to develop and advance a comprehensive energy policy and ensure energy sector growth in Mississippi. We also serve as Mississippi's State Energy Office, and in this capacity, we work with other states and the federal government on a variety of energy-related issues, particularly related to energy efficiency, renewable energy, and energy security. As expressed in our previously filed comments, the proposed rules highlight the consensus developed by the Mississippi Energy Efficiency Collaborative. Adoption of the proposed rules will be a positive and historic step for Mississippi, reflecting a critical starting point for energy efficiency programs in the state and complementing other ongoing energy efficiency efforts. These rules will create a new conversation that will allow utilities to use energy efficiency as a least cost and least risk resource, tailored to the individual needs of each utility and customer class that can meet energy demand while lowering energy bills, improving the reliability of our power grid, and opening the door to new economic development opportunities. In October 2012, Governor Phil Bryant released his state energy plan. The plan focuses on common sense, practical approaches that position Mississippi to reap maximum economic development benefits from smart energy policy. Energy efficiency is one of 6 key focus areas. Significant progress has been made in advancing these opportunities through legislative action. In April, Governor Bryant signed into law 3 landmark pieces of energy efficiency legislation: the Mississippi Sustainability and Development Act of 2013 and ASHRAE 90.1 2010 statewide building code standards for both commercial and state-owned facilities. Mississippi is the first state in the southeastern U.S. and only the 3rd state in the country to adopt this code. Each year, a national scorecard detailing the status of energy efficiency in each state is released by the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy. Mississippi was ranked 51st in 2012, but tremendous strides have already been made in 2013. Adoption of the proposed rules for energy efficiency programs before the scorecard is released in October of this year could capitalize on the building momentum and position our state to move from the bottom to the top of the list, particularly in the Southeast. Mississippi is blessed with the diversity of energy resources, and effective, efficient use of available energy in our state opens the door to continued economic development, job creation, and an increased quality of life for our citizens. To this end, I encourage the PSC to proceed with adoption of the proposed rules.
Thank you very much. Mississippi Power Company.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Melvin Wilson, Mississippi Power. Address is 2992 West Beach Boulevard, Gulfport, Mississippi. Commissioners, Mississippi Power appreciates the opportunity to offer a statement today summarizing our various comments filed in this docket on the proposed energy efficiency rule being considered by the Commission. We have actively participated in the collaborative process set up by the Commission, and we have filed comments at every opportunity regarding energy efficiency and demand-side management programs, as well as the Quick Start programs and comprehensive programs included in the proposed rule. We adopt these state comments today. Mississippi Power respectfully requests that the proposed rule be rejected by the Commission as it is written, because one, the rule will result in upward pressure on customer rates, particularly in the residential class. And two, it will create cross subsidies within and between customer classes, as customers who cannot or choose not to participate will be required to fund the programs for customers who do participate. For 20 years, Mississippi Power has consistently held a view that has been supported by the Commission, that any policies related to customer programs in Mississippi should be cost-effective for the participants and the non-participants. Mississippi Power has historically proposed programs that are in the best interest of all customers. The proposed rule presents a significant change in the philosophy of the Commission regarding the approval process for such programs as reflected in our long-standing promotional practice filing. Again, this change in philosophy will create rate impacts to Mississippi Power.
Mr. Wilson, that's your 2 minutes. You can make those part of the record. We'll make them part of the record.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we need, is this, okay, from all the other people, any of the written comments?
Yeah, they have a written comment, and they need to turn them in.
They're part of
Okay.
the file.
All of them filed?
They're part of the commission file,
Okay,
What they're,
okay, all right.
which at this point, I suppose I should introduce and ask to be marked as Exhibit 1.
It'll be marked as Exhibit 1, the entire file.
Yes, sir.
All right. Exhibit 1. All right, 25 by 25, Brent.
Good morning. Brent Bailey with the 25 by 25 Alliance, 107 Cedar Ridge Drive, Canton, Mississippi. Thank you, gentlemen, for the opportunity this morning. It has been a long road since the Commission first opened the docket in January of 2010, and I want to say I'd be remiss not to give thanks to the organization that stood with me and provided solid technical and as well as practical advice throughout this entire process. And I can't thank them enough for what they've done to support me, as well as their commitment to the state of Mississippi. I applaud the Commission for stepping up and facing the energy efficiency challenge, because it is the right and responsible thing to do. We can no longer ignore the continued waste of precious energy resources as well as financial resources. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to use our energy resources wisely. Energy efficiency is still a largely an untapped resource that can save Mississippians money on their utility bills, create local jobs, and increase the competitiveness of the state's businesses. Those who say that energy efficiency can't or shouldn't be done in Mississippi apparently underestimate the ingenuity and resolve of our citizens. Armed with the right knowledge, technical guidance, and incentives, I believe utility customers will rise to the challenge and exceed expectations. We have the energy efficiency technologies to run our homes and businesses more efficiently and affordably and achieve the same results with less energy wasted. Others in the nation and in the region have demonstrated the effectiveness of energy efficiency programs we don't have to recreate what others have proven to be reliable frameworks for delivering energy efficiency solutions. By implementing these rules in an expedited manner, we will put Mississippi on the road to a healthier, more secure energy future by being smart about our energy use while creating jobs and strengthening local economies and helping Mississippi utility ratepayers gain control of their energy future. Commissioners, generally low electricity rates in Mississippi have not solved the challenge of high utility bills for us customers. Energy savings programs such as those that's envisioned and proposed in the draft energy efficiency rules are needed now. Since this docket was initiated in 2010, I've watched the state, and I will provide my written in a form of exhibit, I guess, or not?
Well, I think we have it. You
Okay.
filed written comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. Caleb Dana.
I want to first thank you, the commissioners, for adopting this docket to pursue this, and I encourage you to continue in your pursuit of the implementation of the energy efficiency program. My name is Caleb Dana. I'm representing myself as a private citizen. I reside at 103 Pine Trail Place, Madison, Mississippi. The important element I'd like to speak about is decoupling plus. Decoupling plus reorients the profit factor for utilities to encourage them to aggressively adopt energy efficiency measures. Many other states have already adopted decoupling plus. It has already been shown to reduce customer bills while at the same time increasing the profit of the utility. I would like to submit supplemental comments illustrating these facts for the benefit and use of the commission. Thank you.
We'll be glad to take it. Thank you. Are those already part? Do we already have?
No, you do not
Need to
have-
get those, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this morning.
Oh, we did get them this morning? Okay. Are you good with that, Kat? Is that okay? You want that? You want that flower? Why don't you give it? A man once told me the most important person in a hearing room is the court reporter, so I stick by that. The Mississippi chapter of the Sierra Club. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Julia O'Neill. I'm from 321 Holcomb, Ocean Springs, representing the Sierra Club. The Sierra Club has long been an advocate for energy efficiency. There is no faster or cheaper way to help meet future demand to avoid building new plants, and using less helps increase the reliability of the grid, as the MDA just said. There are upfront costs, but the Commission's own economic impact statement says participant test benefit cost ratios were greater than 1.0 in all cases. Over time, reductions in energy costs more than offset the initial costs of most solutions. Mississippi is #1 in percentage of household income spent on electricity. Rates may be lower than other states, but the lack of efficiency puts us at the top of the chart. Efficiency programs benefit the lowest income groups the most. It's time to end the characterization of Mississippi as a state of tar paper shacks with old window air conditioners running 24/7. In the most recent Sierra Club contributions to the docket as an intervener, the memo from Pleasant McNeil and Robert Weigel's letter, the Weigel letter in 2013 and Pleasant McNeil in 2011, both advocate for a total resources cost test. We are enthusiastic about the quick start process and the critical role of EM&B. Wisconsin estimated its 10-year-old energy efficiency program created 5,400 jobs in 2011. Massachusetts estimated that every dollar invested in energy efficiency gave a participant $4.17. Business participants made $5.10. Ratepayers in the Southern District are now facing much higher rates than the incremental rise that an efficiency rule would bring. Efficiency programs would bring some relief. They can't charge you for what you don't use.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. Are those part of the record already?
No,
Do you want to make them part of the record?
she can, yes, it's kind of scratched up. I prepared 3 minutes.
Thank you. The Office of the Attorney General.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Crystal Utley with the Consumer Protection Division of the Attorney General's Office, representing the state of Mississippi. We're across the street at 550 High Street. I'm just here today to adopt our previously filed comments, and just want to express that we're in support of these new rules and the essential steps towards energy efficiency, and want to take a second just to applaud the commissioners and staff for their efforts in this regard.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Sanford and Associates.
Thank you, gentlemen, for this opportunity. I just am here on behalf of local contractors in Mississippi. I've been in the business of training and working with and performing energy efficiency projects for longer than I'd like to admit. But I will say this, that we do have people in Mississippi, and we do have the support of agencies and the capability of performing this work should it be brought to bear. I just wanted to encourage you fellas to consider that local contractors and local personnel be used in carrying out the program in the future. Thanks.
Sir, would you mind for the record, your name? If you tell us your name?
Henry Sanford.
Henry Sanford. Thank you, sir. All right. I don't know if it's an active. Tegler Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sirs.
Morning.
I'm Eric Eads with Tegler Jackson. It's a home inspection company out of Ridgeland, Mississippi, 600 Arbor Court. I have been doing energy audits and training since 1992. I would like to suggest that we adopt the current energy code, the ICC energy code. This is not a complicated format. Habitat for Humanity has been producing energy code sustainable houses since 2005. In 2005, Entergy sponsored a Habitat house that was the first Energy Star house in Mississippi. Since that time, Habitat has been following that format, making Energy Star houses ever since. It's not hard to do. We don't need to recreate the wheel or anything complicated. Adopt the energy code and follow the energy code. We don't have to be Energy Star or anything elevated. Following the code is very simple. It can save the people as much as 50% on their energy bills, as we have done in our remodeling and testing of houses that are existing. So that's my comment, use the energy code.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mr. John Sibley, South Face Energy Institute.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, my name is John Sibley, Senior Policy Fellow with the South Face Energy Institute based in Atlanta. In a former role with the Southeast Energy Efficiency Alliance, I served as a member of your Energy Efficiency Collaborative, and I've served in similar kinds of processes in various states in the Southeast. All I want to bring you today is a perspective on this issue from some recent developments in Georgia. And the idea I'd like to bring to you from Georgia is that the citizens of Mississippi can look forward to saving a lot of money on their power bills when you move on from quick start programs into comprehensive programs. In the last several years, Georgia Power Company has ramped up savings from residential and commercial energy efficiency programs from less than 0.1% of sales to over 0.3% of sales. Other utilities in the Southeast are doing more, but Georgia Power is a good example of what it looks like when you begin to get into substantial and significant comprehensive programs. So here's the main point. Georgia Power has calculated that the cost of continuing these programs for the next 3 years will be less than 1.5 cents per kilowatt hour saved, less than 1.5 cents per kilowatt hour. The experience in Georgia shows that by buying energy through energy efficiency is the cheapest energy you can buy. Buying energy for less than 1.5 cents per kilowatt hour reduces the revenue requirement of the utility and therefore can lower bills for everybody. Mississippi can expect the same kind of experience. The way for Mississippi utilities to be able to buy substantial amounts of the cheapest energy available, the energy that is acquired through energy efficiency, is for the Commission to move forward with this proposed rule. Thank you for the
Thank you, Mr. Sibley. Would you like to make those a part of the record?
I have a longer version that I'll put in the record.
Okay, thank you. Is it Warren Yoder, Public Policy Center of Mississippi?
Thank you. I'm Warren Yoder, the Executive Director of the Public Policy Center of Mississippi. We have more than 10 years experience working with children and families as an advocate around the state. We work with hundreds of children and youth serving organizations around the state, and of course they're the parents and the kids that they serve. The energy efficiency docket you're considering is extraordinarily important, significantly strengthening our families, our businesses, and our state as a whole. We're committed to the policy advocacy, to the coalition organizing, to the implementation programming that it takes to make this work. There are two reasons that motivated us that we think this makes it extremely important for families. The American Council for an Energy Efficiency Economy did the analysis that shows that Mississippi families spend the highest percentage of median family income on electrical bills. And that makes it extraordinarily difficult for parents to meet the other requirements, clothes, food, et cetera, for their kids' expenses. Second is that Mississippi has been in a prolonged jobs recession since 2000. We haven't recovered from the 2000 recession yet, and we've had another one since then, of course. Arkansas Advanced Energy Association did a study for 2010. They have 11,300 some jobs in advanced energy, 2,500 of those in HVAC industry. HVAC is necessarily a local industry. Those are jobs for our parents of all kinds of skill levels. Then we especially need those jobs. So you have, though families don't really think of it this way, certainly don't connect the dots, you have the well-being of families, the strength of the business community, and the strength of the whole state in your hand, and we strongly encourage you to adopt this energy efficient docket.
Thank you, Mr. Yoder. Mr. Ron Aldridge with the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Short, NFIB.
That's right. We say it never failed. Commissioners, I'm thankful to be a part. There you go. I'm thankful to be a part of here today to represent on behalf of my 3,500 small business members in Mississippi. Also here as chairman of the Small Business Regulatory Committee, Review Committee for the state of Mississippi, in representing those small businesses of all nature. We would like to do two things. One, thank you for what you've already done for small business with the incentive riders through the utility companies in this state. And we thank you for pursuing this on the energy efficiency for the future of these small businesses so they can reduce a cost that needs to be reduced for them to continue to thrive and survive. And surviving is a big part right now. Recent polls said that 4%, only 4% of small businesses said this is a good time to expand. And in the next 6 months said that it will get worse, the economy will for them. Their sales are more than half or below. There's also an opportunity to grow more small businesses, which then creates the jobs Mississippi so desperately needs for economic development in this state. And small businesses produce 2 out of every 3 jobs. 2 caveats. One, the caveat for standards in the future on small business. Be very watchful for putting any hard standards on them for energy efficiency, and particularly when most of them are in some very old buildings and structures throughout this state. 2, also look for the caveat of making sure that as possible energy efficiencies come about, that these small businesses who cannot retrofit and do things because of money aren't unduly punished with their rates as a result of that as well. We thank you for what you're doing in looking at small business as the future of this state as truly what they are. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Owen. I believe is it Pleasant McNeil? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Pleasant Jackson McNeil IV. I have a master's degree in civil engineering from the University of California, Berkeley. I'm a registered civil engineer in Mississippi and California. I participated in the 2010 Mississippi Energy Efficiency Collaborative, which developed the guiding principles for the proposed rules, though I'm not currently representing any of the interveners in the docket. My primary goal for the Mississippi Energy Efficiency Collaborative was to provide enough substance to develop an effective energy efficiency rule while allowing the finer details to be worked out in the course of implementation. For this reason, including a quick start program, which will be critical to the timely implementation of the energy efficiency programs in Mississippi. Quick start programs can serve as a valuable framework for formalizing the details of an energy efficiency rule by providing Mississippi with the building blocks for subsequent development of mature and comprehensive efforts. It is also critically important to have a well-funded, robust, and transparent evaluation, measurement, and verification program during implementation of Quick Start programs to collect and verify Mississippi-specific data to identify program-specific opportunities and constraints. Finally, a continued collaborative process is needed to overcome the significant barrier that the formal docket intervener process poses to a large number of potential stakeholders, representing ratepayers, public interest groups, as well as non-jurisdictional utilities. During the Mississippi Energy Efficiency Collaborative, there was a nearly unanimous consensus among stakeholders drafting the guiding principles for the proposed rules. The one exception was a utility that expressed concerns that the energy efficiency program costs would raise rates on poor households and did not take advantage of offered programs. These concerns, I believe, would best be addressed by a continued collaborative process that includes consumer and low-income stakeholder representatives that were not part of the original collaborative. In short, I think we have a sufficient rule to move forward. I think we need to start working, collecting data that works for Mississippi and can move us forward. Thank you.
Pleasant, we appreciate it. Do you want to make that part of the record? Thank you. Mr. Herb Stonebrook, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members and staff of the Commission, supporters of energy efficiency and energy providers, I come today to offer encouragement to both sides of what can be at times a fierce debate. If we get it right, then students of change will read our words and recognize that the decisions made after today came from careful review of all concerns. I come as an advocate for energy efficiency, and I come as an advocate for private companies that provide the very tools that make my life pleasurable. Ask me about my needs after a storm knocks out power on a hot and humid summer afternoon, and cooling is at the top of my immediate list. In 1980, I started a professional career with TVA after a passionate speech by S. David Friedman in Memphis. I was chosen as the first Employee of the Year in 1984 for my role in promoting TVA's energy conservation program. In 1988, I lost my job along with 7,000 others when TVA changed course and eliminated the same program. My career has not deviated much from that first day at TVA when I was ready to do my part to make homes more efficient. Something inside me keeps hearing those words when I was a small kid about taking care of what has been given to provide a better future for the small children that depend on us. Energy efficiency is more like a destination than a target. In the past year since retirement and moving from Nashville to South Mississippi, I have come to recognize that I live in hurricane country. It is no longer a question of whether a new storm will disrupt our lives, but when and how much damage. The repeated references on the Weather Channel question whether climate change is in some way to blame. I have read comments from very educated men and women, and the debate is not over. But if I live out a way of life in front of my 3-year-old granddaughter that demonstrates how to make my house more energy efficient, I am doing something that those same scientists claim can change it just a wee bit. What if it turns out that more and more people want to do the right thing and make their home or business or school or church or college more efficient? Will the example of my one house upgrade signal that when I had a chance, I took the risk? I studied the alternatives and chose a combination of technologies to reduce my cooling load and provide that cooling with Energy Star's highest claimed electric heat pump. If I get it right, then I will save more on my energy bill than I pay on the loan for the added expense of making the house more energy efficient. I think the local power company can help others do the same. Thank you.
Mr. Stonebrook, would you like to make those part of the record?
Yes, sir.
Sean, will you grab those for me?
Just eliminate the scratches. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dallas Baker with MDEQ.
Good morning, I'm Dallas Baker with the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. I'm an environmental engineer. We're at 515 East of Mitt Street. I'd like to speak in favor of the Commission's consideration of rule changes that look at long-term strategies and development of energy efficiency programs and standards in our state. At our Office of Pollution Control, I help manage pollution prevention programs that reach out to businesses, industries, communities, and other consumers of natural resources and build partnerships with government and non-governmental groups to identify resources, educate managers, and share success stories, all designed to strengthen our ability to sustain our economy and ensure a healthy environment. Fossil fuels continue to be the primary source for generation of our state's electricity, as you know. By directing resources towards the study and implementation of energy efficiency programs, I believe we can significantly reduce our demand for electricity, thus lowering our need to combust these fuels and to expand our generation capacity. Two objectives of the Quick Start plan that was referenced earlier are particularly of interest to my program. One, the expansion of energy efficiency expertise in the state, and two, identification of successful energy efficiency program delivery strategies. In both areas, we are already working with EPA, MDA, DFA, and other pollution prevention energy efficiency groups represented in this room to hold workshops, conduct pilot assessments, and seek in-state expertise in these areas, then share our findings. To see a real-life energy efficiency success story, we look no further than our own offices. In 2009, after an electricity and natural gas efficiency audit, the Mississippi DEQ started a series of energy management programs focused on our own buildings on the mid-state.
Time's up.
Well, I didn't hear the bell.
Yeah, my phone reset. I'm
sorry.
I'll
making the cards record.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Elizabeth Galante, is that correct?
It is.
Is it Posi June Clean Energy?
That's correct.
You may proceed.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this morning briefly. My name is Elizabeth Galante. I'm with a clean energy company known as Posigen, based in New Orleans. It's a 2-year-old company, and I am executive director of the energy efficiency and education arm of that program. I wanted to speak just for a moment this morning about the jobs potential, the great economic opportunity that energy efficiency incentives can generate in Mississippi. Before I was with Posigen, I ran the NOLA-WISE program for the mayor of New Orleans with a nonprofit, and in partnership with the Energy Smart program in New Orleans. In just the last 2 years, an unbelievable amount of jobs have been generated. My company alone currently employs 80 people after just starting up 24 months ago, and we support another 120 jobs through our contractors. It's not just jobs, but it's also small businesses. We work with 5 small business contractors in energy efficiency development, and they support those jobs as well. These jobs are good jobs. They pay well, they're local, they can't be exported, they don't require a higher education to succeed, and they create an opportunity to invest in those workers to create a very valuable skill set that takes them beyond minimum wage, no benefits jobs to careers. I encourage the Commission to seize upon this opportunity to make this investment. As you've heard from others, it's an excellent idea for the ratepayers, but it's also an excellent investment in the economic future of Mississippi. It's succeeding incredibly well in Louisiana. We did a Quick Start program that's been tremendous, and I encourage you to look at the success created there to help you as you work to make that investment for Mississippi and to truly create a legacy with this commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Galante. I don't think we're going to take your notebook. It's part of the record. I didn't know you had anything you wanted to add part of the record.
I will gently remove
Kind of looks like a diary, to be honest.
We won't be sending any subpoenas on that.
Yeah, there's nothing here you don't want. I will return with this page and thank you.
Thank you. And I think lastly, we have Dr. Sumesh Arora. Did I pronounce that correctly?
That's correct.
Strategic Biomass Solutions.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Sumesh Arora. I'm the director of the Strategic Biomass Solutions Program with the parent company Innovate Mississippi. We're located at 134 Market Ridge Drive in Ridgeland. And I appreciate and thank you to the commission for considering this docket and the opportunity to speak this morning. We support this docket for energy efficiency programs in Mississippi and feel that it actually leads to new innovative growth in Mississippi by bringing new companies in, new technologies in. We actually compiled a report called the State Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy Report, which we'll be happy to provide you as a hard copy. It's available on our website. It includes about 100 or so plus energy efficiency projects in Mississippi, and we'd like to see move that to thousands of programs that include LEED certified building, includes commercial construction. It even includes energy efficiency on the catfish and poultry farms in Mississippi. So there is broad range support for energy efficiency in Mississippi. And again, thank you for your support of this project.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you. I don't believe there's anybody. Is there enough? Jeff, do we have any more on the list?
No, sir.
All right. Well, at this point in time, we're going to adjourn. We'll take it under advisement. Thank you.